Welcome to the show both feared and revered by man and beast, the heliosblog. Today, Andrew Tate speaks out after getting his assets back. Here we go.
The reason she's alone is because she's difficult.
Women are not accepting the bare minimum.
Women fuck men they respect.
All the women who say things like, I'm strong, independent, I don't need no man, like, y'all impress me.
Women just gaslight each other and say what they want to hear.
Assets back. Literally the next day he was in court again. The police was not happy. He went off on a reporter basically talking about how rich he is. This was an interesting conversation.
I'll be perfectly honest with you, and I mean this in the most humble way possible. I am filthy rich. So I have no fucking idea what they took, how much it was. 50 grand, 60 grand, pocket change. I have no idea what they took. It doesn't change my life. If I get it back, I'm gonna drive around at night. When I get all my cash back, I'm gonna drive around at night. I'm gonna find people who sweep the roads, and I'm just gonna give it to them. I don't need it. I operate in the millions. I operate in the millions and billions. You know, I don't deal with change. So anything less than 10M doesn't really affect the look of my bank account.
Today, basically, the Tate brothers were allowed to take home 7 of the supercars that were taken, and tomorrow the brothers will provide the necessary documents which will allow them to repossess the rest of the supercars that were taken by Dicor. I think this is just the start of some good news that is going to come for the Tate.
Okay. Let's continue here. So apparently Sean Strickland exposed Andrew Tate, and then Tristan responds. Let's see what he has to say.
Tate.
You f with Tate?
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you.
You don't
yeah,
like,
so
but you seem to share a lot of similar values with him.
we share a lot of values, but Andrew Tate. Here's the thing about Andrew Tate, man. And as young men, I can see why you guys look up to him, because you are moralist men. You have no values. You have no positive male role models.
Right. But Sean, who beat up Sneeko and almost broke his brain, Sean is the guy you should look up to.
So you latch onto a piece of shit like Tate, who has money, who has women. And you say, no, I want to be like Tate. All my problems in the world, they're because women are fucking me. They're because this is fucking me. No, that's not it. So Andrew Tate is a con artist. Did you ever watch that interview?
Go to the first one.
You ever watch that interview where
Let's talk about this. Yeah.
You ever watch that interview where he goes on in detail about how he pretended to be a cam girl and used to rob people's savings?
That was probably on ours.
Yeah, I think that might have been on
Maybe.
yours. Yeah, these
He
guys.
had the girls do the web.
Isn't that great? Yeah, he was messaging for them because these girls had no idea how to get the guys to spend their money.
Webcams, and then he was taking 100% of the earnings.
And no. He also
100%?
said,
Or,
he
100.
also said that he would go on there and pretend to be men and have them send them 100K.
No, he'd go on there and pretend to be the girl.
Yeah, pretend to be a girl and have them send. So this guy who is a utter con artist, and he shows no remorse.
That's what every OnlyFans
Don't you
girl's
think
doing
every
right now, though,
OnlyFans
too.
has some
Literally.
assistant guy that's
You know
messaging these
OnlyFans,
girls?
obviously.
Yeah, I know. Every girl I know on OnlyFans, you guys, they don't even run their OnlyFans.
So it's the same
Right.
shit.
So you know all
So literally exactly the same.
the top earners of OnlyFans, when you're on there talking to them, you're not talking to them, you're talking to a male assistant.
Yeah.
But
Disaster.
to see the way he talked with no remorse, it wasn't, you know what, man? I did something so morally wrong. I took advantage of men. I took money from men. It was like, nah, damn, I'm a con artist. I'm a
Screw them, I got mine.
piece of shit. So Andrew Tate, you guys, if you want to look up to a guy like Jordan Peterson. He understands
Well, okay, Sean. Respect. I respect you for that.
masculinity, honesty, how to be a fucking man. But I'm telling you, Andrew Tate, he's not your messiah.
Well, I mean, I think we can agree on that one.
He would turn you out for $1. He's a fucking pimp. He's a whore.
Do you think anything he does
I think there's
preach
good and
is
bad
positive?
in everyone.
But
though,
he's
too.
good and bad, but he's a con artist. What I'm saying is, like, for instance,
When a person has admitted that they're a con artist, when a person has revealed that about themselves, it means literally nothing that they say can then be trusted. Nothing that they say that comes out of their mouth it's possible none of it is real. Because they're willing to scam and con for what they want. So if they're willing to scam and con for what they want, then they're not trustworthy. A man's word is his honor. So a man without that has no honor. He's a thief. And as they say, there is no honor among thieves.
Practice what you preach. Strickland.
Practice what you preach. Andrew Tate found a con and he's running with it and he's making a lot of fucking money. And don't be like him. Don't want to drive a Bugatti and like don't Andrew Tate, you guys. There's so many better male role models to have, and he is the definition of trash. Let me tell you, if Andrew Tate was,
I mean, and you know what's funny is that again, because Andrew is popular, people make money and get views just talking about him, right? And that suits him just fine. Whether Andrew is a scam artist or not, he's benefiting from having all these views, right?
Right here, bro, he wouldn't even make eye contact with me. He'd be so fucking scared of me. So we'll conclude this, dude. Just, I'm gonna keep rocking my Honda accent. We're gonna keep making money.
Chevy Volts.
And fucking thank you guys, because you are the reason why I got this fucking shot. That's fucking. But I'm telling you right now, dude. I'm telling you right now.
By the way Sean talks, he has some signs of early onset Alzheimer's. He has some signs of punch drunk syndrome, as they used to call it. It's very obvious. He's kind of slurring his speech, like, already, So I don't even want to imagine how many shots to the head he's taken. It's a lot.
If you meet a girl and she doesn't want to be with you while you're driving a fucking Hyundai accent, she ain't the fucking one, dude.
Indeed.
So
preach.
That just means she's not a high-value woman. You gotta get you a high-value woman, not the low-value women. Red pill, blah, blah, blah.
Some fighter the other day. I can't remember his name. I think he was a boxer, maybe a boxer or an MMA guy. Was saying something like, yeah, those guys used to scam people with their webcam models. They're a bad role model for whatever. What? One, you're a fucking hypocrite. Let me explain why that guy's a hypocrite.
He says, well, sucking on a cigar. Very attractive, very attractive.
When you run any type of entertainment business, whether it be a Twitch streaming agency, a Rumble streaming agency, a Kick streaming agency, a webcam streaming agency, or whether you're a boxer or a fighter, you are leaving the door open for some people to completely abuse vices in your name. And you have nothing that you can do about it. When you run a webcam studio, there are people who will visit the girls and talk to them in a very healthy way, spend $50 on a weekend, and exit. And then you get addicts who are uncontrollable, who will throw all their money at webcam models until they're destitute. And the addict cannot be saved and cannot be helped by not running your business. You close that down, the addict's going to go to someone else. Now, for this guy, a professional fighter, to sit there and say that I should have some remorse for the addict or some control over what the addict does is embarrassing, because he is yet to turn the mirror on himself. He is an entertainer. He is...
I don't understand what he's trying to say. Tristan, what he's saying is that you lied to men to take their money. It wasn't the girls that did it, honestly, and then the guys paid the women, and then the women paid you. You literally pretended to be the woman and messaged. Again, we know that the cam business is a scam business anyway. We know that. But it doesn't take away from the fact that you are fairly morally bankrupt for doing this. And you know you are. And even your defense is not really a defense. It's called a muddying of the waters or redirection, but it doesn't really address the initial point that you messaged as another human being. You pretended to be a girl for money. That it doesn't address that point.
He's fighting in the ring. He is providing entertainment for these millions of people around the world watching him. You think people don't bet my G? You think people don't bet healthy amounts of money on your fights and hope that you win, and when you win, profit from it? Yeah, that's cool. Because the betting and the fight purses are linked. The fact that there's so much gambling involved and the fact that people bet is why you get paid in the fucking first place. And let me tell you something. The big money in the betting and the big money in the gambling doesn't come from the guys who watch your fights and use this gambling service in a healthy way. No, it comes from the addicts, the degenerates, the people who cannot be helped. Every time you fight, somebody has lost everything he had. And for me to sit there, having done what I've done and having lived the life I lived, and say this fighter should feel remorse. This fighter is a bad example to men because through his fight purses, he has scammed millions out of degenerate gamblers who cannot help themselves would be false. And for you to lace up and say, you know what? If you want to be a critic of me, you want to be a critic of my brother, okay, cool, good. Then you do this, my friend. You say, I will fight for money at a much reduced fee as long as nobody in the world can gamble on my fights. That way I've protected everybody and I'm completely responsible.
Again, it's bullshit. That's not what you were doing. You were actively trying to get extra money by pretending to be the girl so that guys would give you more money. You were manipulating men to gain more money. It's not like the fighter manipulates those men into betting on his fights on purpose so that he can make more money. But in any case, it's a bad analogy because the boxer isn't pretending to be someone he's not in order to you know. Yeah, anyway.
And I did not, no betting website scammed some gambler out of his cash. Don't, when you're in the entertainment business that bankrupts families and people because of their lack of self-discipline, don't you dare lecture me, little man, about what I've done in my past. Because the addicts cannot be helped. I'll tell you what I do. You would lose all your fight contracts and all your sponsorships if you said something like, no one bet, no one gamble on fights. No, everyone stop it. You got into the octagon. Thanks for watching me. Got into the boxing ring. Thanks for watching me. But don't ever gamble and don't bet. You'd lose every contract you have. I come along. Even when I was running my webcam studio years ago, I would do podcasts about the ins and outs of it and advise young men never to partake in these activities. Do not lecture me. I'm talking to 2 or 3 people. You probably know who you are. You'll probably see this. I don't give a shit. And you're all broken.
It's like these 2 brothers run on the same script. Disaster. Next, Andrew Tate on Puff Daddy, P. Diddy.
It's interesting to see Andrew Tate's thoughts on the Diddy situation because he's been targeted without any proof against his name, whereas there's various things that the public have held against Diddy and now he's going through trial himself, and this is him.
Yeah, if you're wondering what the hell this is him beating up on his girlfriend in a hotel, apparently, in public, in front of everybody. That's crazy.
Speaking about the situation various times, and we'll talk about more after. First, on a stream with his friend Rory, he spoke about how the system protected Diddy and now he must have gone against them because he cannot get away with the stuff he was doing in the past. Want to take him down now.
You're allowed to talk if nobody listens. If people start listening, you have to be very careful what you say. Now, if you're P. Diddy and you fuck people in the ass and you fuck underage kids and you do drugs and you do all this shit, that's fine as long as you comply with the system, comply with the matrix, understand who your owner is. He's obviously pissed one of them off because they're all doing it, and what happens is...
I mean, who is the one that also talks about this? Candace Owens, right? Candace Owens is the other one that talks about this. That there's a lot of crazy crap going on at the upper echelons of society. A lot of crazy crap, and I believe Andrew himself is the one that said that it's really about access more than anything else, or about following a different set of rules, right? It's like, oh, other people can't do it. For other people, it's illegal, but for me, it's not. Well, for you, it's not until you piss off the keys to power. Once you piss off the keys to power, you get... What? You get executed. That's, by the way, if you're wondering what I'm quoting from with this concept of keys to power, that's how dictatorships work, right? You don't care at all about the common person. The common person is irrelevant in your regime. What you care about in a dictatorship is making sure that the keys to power are happy, right? If the keys to power are not happy, you get assassinated. So that's what Andrew's talking about here. He's talking about Diddy pissed off the keys to power. And when you piss off the keys to power, you get assassinated.
If you start to rebel a little bit or you get too big for your boots, then they teach you a lesson. Because every single person in the entertainment industry is owned. But if you're standalone like me and you refuse to bend or to bow or to go to these parties or to sign these sponsorship contracts or your soul, then they're going to hit you with lawfare like they did. They don't want you to be big unless you're owned so they can tell you what to say. I'm not owned, so I can say whatever the fuck I want, which is why they're trying to ruin my life. And guess what? I don't give a fuck.
No.
Put me in jail.
No, and do you know what?
I'm a fucking tough guy.
Yeah, no, and do you know what? I've always...
You know, what's funny about Andrew is that he has much better body language now than he did back then. He's practiced his, what's it called? His camera body language, I guess you could call it. Actorship? I'm not even sure what it's called. You guys let me know in the comments. I'm not sure what the word is. What is the word for an actor's body language on camera? Stage presence, I guess? Let me know in the comments.
He said with the Diddy case, there is shades of Epstein. He's like the hip-hop Epstein. Until they don't like him, then they start to put him behind bars. And he's even got on watch behind bars right now as the latest news. So until they don't need you, obviously he has a voice, but when you start to not comply and get out of place, they'll throw you in jail and they have all this stuff on you, all the cameras in his house. Next up on Aiden Ross's stream, he was always going to ask him about it. He's more in the hip-hop scene. It's interesting because they both have trafficking charges, but they are different. Diddy's are a bit more extreme, but this one...
Oh no, Diddy's are nothing like Andrew's. Andrew's are very tame compared to Diddy's. Andrew's are like drop in the bucket, they're reaching. Diddy's are like, oh my lordy lord, oh my.
What Andrew Tate had said to Aiden Ross when he talks about the situation. He didn't really want to go into it too much here.
Diddy just got caught trafficking girls and he's a pedophile.
You know, I'm in a unique position to comment on this junk. It's kind of funny. You know, let me tell you something, Aiden. Something else, some more life advice for you. Being a horny motherfucker will get you in trouble. In general, let's forget Diddy and his case and whatever it goes in court of law, innocent, guilty, that's up for him. He's going to work it all out. But in general, if you're one of them horny motherfuckers, you know those dudes on Instagram saying boobs, vagina all day.
Yeah.
If your whole life is just being horny, you're going to be in trouble. Whether you're sat...
Yeah, men need to practice control of those urges. Men that do not control those urges, well, it's true.
Satisfied or not.
One of the 7 deadly sins for a reason.
Whether you get the girls or not. Because if you have too many girls, you got stress. You fuck too much, you're going to end up in jail for some reason or some kind of claims that have come against you. Or you're sitting at home all day jerking off, wasting your life. You need to just give up that horniness crap. You know, I've come to the conclusion that having sex with loads and loads of girls is pretty...
It's fairly empty, to be honest. As a person that's done it, I found it empty after a while. Again, I think it's just a phase in a man's life where he's got to sow his wild oats. But if that's all your life, if that's the only thing that you do, if that's the only thing you aspire to, something's fundamentally wrong. Because women are not the be-all, end-all of a man's life. They really aren't. And it takes either years or wisdom to learn that fact, that they're not the be-all, end-all. There are things much more important than women in a man's life.
You can explain it in an extreme way, but I think Andrew Tate's saying your focus should be elsewhere in life. Anyone that seems too focused on the women's side of things, either way around, end up in trouble somehow. And Diddy was interested in not just women, we know that, and his situation just got out of control with the freak-offs and the stuff that's...
Yeah, something... Again, I made a video called The Depravity of P. Diddy. Again, there are limits, right? Everything in moderation. When you're buying 500 cans of baby oil, you know, maybe something's wrong.
It's been alleged against his name is disgusting. That's why no one's even giving him a fair chance right now, despite a lot of stuff not being proven in court yet. Just the allegations alone and some of the stuff we've seen recently is enough for people not to like Diddy now.
You should have sex to make children, because children are important. But if you just want to have sex with girls, just put your little pee-pee in and out, and then finish and go, yay, I had sex, you're pretty good.
How is that?
I would never have sex without the possibility of there being a child made, because...
Wait, so you stick that Romanian penis in a girl and you're expecting to come inside of her every time and create life?
Firstly, I am not Romanian.
Wait, I know, but okay. So you think every time you
apologize?
I'm sorry.
Realizing me.
I hate that. Are you cloned? Why do you care now? Are you soft now? Why do you care?
I want to be factually correct on this stream.
Fine. I'm sorry for
The point here is being horny, and I'm telling you this because I know you jerk off probably like 18 times a day, little fucking weirdo. You need to get rid of that horny crap. Instead, train hard, worship God, make money, make some kids, and just calm down. If everybody would calm down, none of this would happen. But everyone's...
Indeed. That actually is good advice, and actually is wise advice, and is actually hilarious advice, because every single man comes to the same conclusion, but not when they're young. When you're young, dumb, and full of testosterone and, well, you know what else, that's not exactly what you're thinking about. But with wisdom and age comes this understanding that women are not the be-all, end-all, right? And actually, women are not the key to happiness either. Ultimately, the key to happiness lies within yourself, within your capacity for creativity, for creation. You as a man. That's where the true capacity for happiness, and not just happiness for yourself, happiness for yourself, your girl, your children, your family, and your greater community. That's where it comes from your capacity to create. That is what we've lost in 2024, ultimately, is we've lost that understanding of men's true value in this world. We created the entire Western world, well, Eastern too, but that beautiful, technologically advanced society, it was created in the minds of men first. Men with ambition, men with desire to make the world a better place. Not scammer idiots.
It's like, oh, I'm horny, I need to fuck 6 fucking girls, 2 dudes. Fucking, like, everyone just needs to chill.
2 dudes?
As an example of what you're up to.
Obviously, we've seen that Meek Mill has been dragged into the Diddy situation because he had a relationship with him and there was some weird videos being posted.
Hey, what's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
And people allege more was happening between them two. And
so P. Diddy was having bedroom fun with Meek Mill and Usher?
Andrew Tate had put up a tweet that Meek Mill was annoyed and replied to. He said, so P. Diddy was having with Meek Mill and Usher. And Meek Mill actually got triggered and responded by saying, wasn't you trafficking women? They're wrong with you, Brody. And obviously that has not been proven. That's why he is going to court right now to fight against it. Whereas the stuff against Diddy is a bit more convincing. Even the stuff with Diddy and Meek Mill is. Andrew Tate responded by...
Meek Mill comes off to me as... I mean, he has Meek in his name. Anyway, you can draw your own conclusions, guys.
saying, I only asked a question because everyone is saying it's happened. And everyone literally is saying that. Is it true or not? And obviously Meek Mill does never respond directly to allegations. He says he's above that. And just recently he said he wants to hire some sort of team to help find the links between him and Diddy, which is just weird. It's like he's making the situation even worse by the stuff he comes out with. I want to hire a team, 100k cash to find out every specific detail involving Meek Mill named to Diddy case. I also want them to look who is power in the media involving Meek, anything to do with Buddy, something not right. The streets know what's up with me. That's not the case. We're talking about the business side. Somebody powering these bad campaigns with Meek Mill. Again, I got 100k for a thorough investigation of who's powering and how exactly my name connects to this. Allegedly, Meek Mill has been brought up in official court documents referring to him as Nicki Minaj's ex in that, but Meek Mill needs to hire a private investigator in private. It's obvious he just wants to clear up his public image as much as he can, because anyone associated with Diddy right now is getting thrown in the bus, even French Montana for this clip.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear French. Happy birthday to you.
Yes, very friendly, very friendly. There's nothing untoward happening here, guys. This is exactly how two guys talk. Shirtless and like they're in a relationship. Yep, that's how guys, it's just how guys, if you say go team, it's not anything wrong. There's nothing wrong, okay? All right. Let's end the video there. Hit the like, hit the sub, hit all the notifications. Buy my books like Hunter M, Adrian L, Tom and Bobby, Dylan, Renaissance Press, Brian, Andrew, Ann, Armani, and Nicholas. Shout outs to you, most recent purchaser of both my books, Strategist Guide to Seduction and Quotes to Live By. Thank you. My books can be found at bit.ly/heliosbooks. If you'd like me to teach you how to be good with girls, I know I said girls aren't the be-all end-all, but you want to have kids, right? And you want to have kids with a good woman? Well, you better learn how to get girls then choose a good one, and then stop caring about it, right? Anyway, it's one of those phases we all have to go through. So yeah, if you're interested in that sort of thing, message me at theheliosblog@gmail.com. I'll coach you right up. Thank you so much for listening, guys, especially if you listen to the end. I really do appreciate it. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.